anything here to do this with.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Now
either,
it says I'm live.
Are you?
That's what it says. I'm live.
Not according to my computer. Here, testing upload. Lana J. Thomas is live. Okay. It says here you're live.
And it's in a different place. I don't have these people with me. I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Okay. Can anyone see? Well, we got 9 people patiently waiting for us.
I tell them I'm live someplace else. It's just nuts.
Amy Lackey's here, Melissa Rowetter.
This says I'm live here, and I can tell I am.
But I don't see where it's going because my screen, this is what I've got. I'm going to go out and go back in again. Maybe everybody's listening, here's our conversation. We just aren't aware of it. Oh dear, that would not be funny.
No, it's.
I'm gonna.
And I don't know how to get back to that other one.
Okay. Come on, let's go. Come on. Ouch. Oh, it's froze.
Oh, Lionsgate 2020 says upcoming. And I'm live August 8, 2020.
Yep. You're live.
Am I live?
I'm going in the other room now. Hi, everybody.
Is everybody finding us? I don't know what happened here. New notification led you in, Sharon. Good, because it had showed me I was live, but nothing was going on. So I do apologize for my struggles with this. It's now 8:14. Hopefully the rest of the people will find us. We'll wait just a couple more minutes, if you don't mind. Thank you so much for your patience. Jackie, Sarah. I'm not sure how that happened. This is my first time going live and then trying to put on Patreon as well. So got confusing. So we're just going to stick with the YouTube. It isn't showing up on Patreon yet. Maybe that's what I ran into some problems with. But I hope everybody's well this evening. It's been kind of a nice day, kind of a hectic day here working on this project. And as those of you who know me know that when I'm doing this, it doesn't always go very well. So everybody hearing me okay? I'm just going to type it. Just kind of give me a heads up if you are something so I know. Sharon, can you hear me? Ronnie, yes, hi. Everybody hears? Oh, perfect. All right. People are catching up, so I'm not going to be in any real quick rush. If it's okay with you, we'll start in just a couple of minutes so that they're not frustrated trying to find us. It's good to see everybody and hear from everyone. I hope you're all well, staying healthy in this COVID fiasco, taking good care of yourselves, being good to yourselves. One thing that I had mentioned, I think in one of the emails on Facebook was if you make just a short list of the things, the characteristics about yourself that you wanted to be rid of. The meditation given to me by the Council of wisdom was that taking you into the Halls of Amenti, if you have specific things about yourself that you're unhappy with, say you got fear is always a big one, and we're all definitely struggling with some fear right now. So if you wanted to just sort of put things down, set them down once we get there, knowing that you're not going to be picking them back up, and that it's some things that they're promising to just free us of, regardless of what it may be. So if you don't have a written list, however many things you have, toward the end of this, I'm going to offer the opportunity to just have you say with me, I have some things written down on my list, some things that they gave me that are just general, but I'm going to have you substitute your things, your characteristics that you would like to be rid of in lieu of the things that I have here. Taking as much time as you need. I won't rush through it. So if you have some things that aren't listed here, you would be able to state those and be able to leave those within the Hall of Amenti. And at that time, the different things that they're going to be showing is lifting the veil, etc. They're going to be helping with so many different types of things. I'm very excited for all of you. I'm excited for myself as well, just seeing how this is going to go. I did a PowerPoint, and I'm going to just start that, because that we can go ahead and move through, and it won't make any, it won't, damage the rest of the presentation for the people who aren't here. I wanted to just explain a little bit about the Halls of Amenti and what they are. What I did was I put this here, and I realized that it's not going to be as effective as I wanted, but ran into some problems with trying to work with two different computers and HDMI cables, etc. That Lionsgate meditation and the ascension, accessing the Halls of Amenti. I looked through a lot of different information, trying to understand what may give you the clearest and most precise idea about what the Halls of Amenti are without making it super confusing, because it is so complex and it is a very difficult thing to understand as one of our most ancient mysteries, going way, way back into the beginning of time, and dating back to Thoth, and Thoth as an Egyptian god, Hermes, but all of the collections of what's written in the Hall, in the Emerald Tablets about the Hall of Amenti is all of it is inclusive in the whole concept of including everything within our history. So like I said, I don't want it to get too complex that nobody can understand it, or it looks as if it's something that you're not going to be able to access. So this is a presentation of basically kind of what they believe that they would look like. They were literally on emerald, they believe, or something similar to that. The 15 tablets were held together with big iron rings so that it could be flipped open like you would a big book. And each one of the tablets has a different topic. Title number 2 happens to be about the Halls of Amenti. Now, I wanted to put this together in a way that understanding what the Halls of Amenti is important in the context of knowing that even though we believe it's so mystical and so mysterious and inaccessible to us, it's not. Because if you really look at the whole premise behind the Halls of Amenti and the Emerald Tablets, it is a Gnostic approach, or a totally inclusive approach to everything within our history, everything within our history of religions, science, mathematics, everything that we were taught, like Thoth was teaching Hermes, and through Hermes, all of the different types of things that we currently have in our society, understanding our universe, understanding the idea behind the importance of the number 7. Excuse me, I got a tickle. And with this, understanding some of the ideas behind it being in Egypt, some people say that the Halls of Amenti are underneath the pyramids, and the concept in that is it would be very, very 3D if it was underneath there. And even though they said that it was this huge cavern blown out and the light and the darkness and as mysterious as the Halls of Amenti are, what's been presented to me and through a lot of other people is that what we need to understand is in our ascension should be primarily how we perceive our world, how we see our world, how we know ourselves, how deeply we've gone inward, how much we know all of our frailties, our faults, our strengths, the things about our character that are very special, understanding the different things that we think will work well for us if we're rid of them, understanding what our purpose is. So in the context of it being in a dimension that would be higher than we currently are, it would be somewhere in the middle of the pyramid, not necessarily underneath. So in the process of this meditation, tend to think of it that way. Think of it as something that's not so inaccessible, buried deep within the pyramids, and how would we possibly get there? Thoth was depicted as an Egyptian god, as an ibis with a huge long beak, the ibis being a very popular bird and one that was considered sacred. And he had this thing put together with his different understanding of his staff that he carried that had very special meaning. He was, like some other gods, considered to be a winged dragon or a winged angel or a winged serpent. Very influential in his time and has been throughout time. And the emerald tablets, even though they have been disputed, disparaged, are something that has stayed with us throughout time. And it's linked also with the tree of life. And this tree of life in particular is one that I favor, it being Aleister Crowley's Hermetic tree of life, meaning based upon the ideas and the concepts that were taught by Hermes, who was Thoth reincarnated. I have this copy of the Thoth Tarot that when they began teaching me about the tree of life and understanding how it can be utilized to help people heal, they wanted me to have these, and these in particular. Aleister Crowley, he struggled with politically, he struggled financially, he struggled with all the people in his community because they thought he was anti-religion in his viewpoints of this, and the tarot was dark and evil, and he had a very difficult time promoting what he did. He wrote books, very devoted man to the research that he was doing with regard to those teachings of the Emerald Tablets, Hermes, the Kabbalion. That's a very fascinating book that's available online in a PDF format. I like that one very much, talking about the 7 rules of the universe, being gravity and balance, the genders, male and female, the polarity, one against the other, cause and effect. It was the deeper scientific aspects of all of this is being taught through the tablets in a spiritual form. So, like I said, I didn't want it to get really, really complicated, but just know that what we've been doing is they're offering us a way that we can go through the Halls of Amenti and receive the gifts that are available there. I have a picture here of the Merkabah that Thoth was very famous for the depiction of it. And it is a 6-pointed star, or the Star of David, or 2 triangles, one inside of the other. So it forms a 6-pointed 3-dimensional star. As they perceive us, we are inside of that Merkabah at all times. And anybody who's ever done an angel healing session with me, I activate that Merkabah to make it larger, to make it vibrate stronger, to give them a stronger frequency within their body. The whole idea behind the Merkabah, as you see, like the tree of life, is ascending up into the mind, into wisdom, and into knowledge. And in doing that, we have to get out of those things about our personal lives that limit us and hold us down. Primarily, that would be emotions that rule us, that we do not have control of, our lack of study time, our lack of knowing things about the universe, learning about the different dimensions, all of that, which we understand as the ascension process. That is not so easy. And so this, they're hoping, is going to give us a little bit of a leg up on that. There are numerous depictions of what, through time, and beautiful, incredible artists have decided that the Halls of Amenti may be similar to. This one, it shows the water, which is depicted in there. This one I think is particularly lovely with the columns, and then in the back you can see entering into a palace type of structure. There are so many different ones that there isn't any way that I can decide what it might look like. So I thought I would just show you more than one of them, kind of give you an idea. This is one of my favorites. I had on my desktop for a long time because I see this as the council before of them that are always speaking with me, sharing with me, saying that they told me who they were, that they were actually older than dust, and that they had created the four directions, which we're also familiar with in all of the different faiths throughout the world. Shamanism, through the Eastern cultures, through our culture, understanding it through the angels and the different directions that they represent. So the similarities in this, the all-inclusiveness of the ideas behind the Emerald Tablets and Gnosticism is everything is believed, everything is included, everything is one, regardless of what those may be, and they all play a role or a part or something that we learn during one lifetime, and maybe cast off in the next. A lot of times it's leading us away from structured religion into a higher line of thought, into the ascension process and understanding things from a different realm. The Doors of Amenti, this is another one. If you can see, this would be more like the pharaoh type or the Egyptian appearance in the building, the sands, the pyramid structure, and the going through the hallway way back in the back, entering into the Halls of Amenti. So any one of these that appeals to you, if you wanted to just kind of use that as a visual image as we go through the meditation, or if you're taking someplace entirely different, nothing that is associated with it, that is completely fine. One thing that they're going to do when we're in there is they will begin to lift the veil, and you will hear that in the meditation as we go through it. And as you do, you turn to the left, and this veil will be removed, which any one of us ever has the opportunity to see through the veil of our own, like into the Akashic records, into our future, understanding our past. That's what they're offering while we're there. So knowing what you can anticipate and knowing what you can be prepared for is a little bit different than the Stargate type of approach, but it's the same premise as all is one. And the idea behind it is that the Syrians also endorse anything having to do with the Halls of Amenti. It's all linked. It's all one, as I said, in the Gnostic viewpoint. There's in the Lion's Gate during the meditation, I wanted you to envision a very large lion head knocker, because they're going to have you lift that and bang upon the pyramid in order to gain entrance. And so I thought if you had a mental image of that, that would help you. So essentially, what we're looking at is that we're going into the Halls of Amenti, which just means we're going into the self. So if you look at it that more in that vein, then you are looking at it from the perspective of the idea of going into a pyramid or going into some dark caverns or into something similar to that. We're really looking into the hall of the self and understanding who we truly are, understanding how powerful we can really be, because we really have no concept of that. We really do not understand how incredibly powerful we are and the tremendous gifts that we can be given, the role and our purpose in our lives, the things that we're capable of. And so moving us up out of that into the Halls of Amenti, out of what the 3D ignorance plane would be that we're trapped in, then alleviates those pressures that keep us down, opens up our mind, expands our consciousness. And that's what ascension is about. Not so much moving it physically, but a moving up in the manifestation of the mind and knowledge and wisdom. So those are the things that they'll have us moving forward to. And after this meditation tonight, you'll begin to notice shifts, changes, variances in the way things have been working in your life, because they will continue to approach you. Try to open your mind to more ideas, concepts, inspiration, people sometimes being given inventions. All different kinds of marvelous things happen when we open our mind. So what I'm going to do now is I want you to just relax. I want you to just kind of sit back, get yourself really comfortable. I'm going to read what they have given me as this meditation. So I'm going to put on just some nice music instead of you looking at me, so that we can, I'll settle back into, and we'll be able to begin to have you move through the Halls of Amenti. And you'll understand it as I read this to you. I'm going to give you a little prelude to it. And I'm also going to play some Tibetan healing music. It's one of the things that they have used for me when I'm doing a really intense meditation. This particular piece, which is by Meditation and Relaxation, it's called Tibetan Healing Sounds, cleans the aura and space. And this is available on YouTube. I want to make sure that they're getting the credit for it that they deserve. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of move back a little bit, listen to the music, relax yourselves. And this is how this was initially offered to me when they suggested I do this meditation. And I wanted to share this with you. So close your eyes and breathe, relax. I hope you're feeling very comfortable. Entering the Halls of Amenti. Truth be told, it is available to the few to enter and leave. It is available for the innumerable to visit, bathe in its luster, and reveal one freshest, most renewed state of being. Its doors are opened, though locked, and locked, though open. It is faith, in faith, that one descends into the vast depths of truth and light and lightness. Let us now proceed. The value of light is seen as a golden flame which ignites a fire yet never experienced. Bathe in it now. Let the golden fire encompass your entire being as it lifts you high into the air. Listen to the golden fire. Breathing. Moving yourself above the halls of Amenti. In that, with knowledge coming to us, as they said, we of the people of earth have too little an understanding of what the beings of light have to offer us and wish to make our own. And yet we fail to adhere to what is told to us, so we feel tossed about by the winds of change. Instead, we could be adhered solidly in our faith and know that we are stabilized by our knowledge of a much greater truth that is being sent into our dimensions that are changing rapidly and without restraint. Whispers of fear-mongering and hatred are in the news today and every day. Upheaval and torment are the watchwords of the masses who need to see that the truth they see is not a truth at all. It is merely a movement of energy that will capitulate or surrender eventually into massive change. Thus, we, the Council, therefore want to warn you of the impending changes that are so profound as to rattle the brain and upset the soul of many a tyrant. We need not use fear when we have truth on our side. We merely say to you, get ready for a light weaver to bring you even greater truth. It is not new news to say that you have been promised a guide who will take you into a brighter future. Dear ones, it is time to investigate your being and seek out all that is not in your highest and best self. It is time to reconnect. And all that you struggle with will simply pass away if you surrender it to the light. You have only to name it and disown it and let it be that of your history with no place in your future. I take this moment now to summon all of your angels, your guardians, and your archangel into your presence. I summon those that are associated with the Halls of Amenti, those with the brilliant minds. I summon them into your presence. I hope you feel their energy. Release yourself to them. Open your mind to them. Feel their presence wherever you are. Summon your guides, your guardians, and your angels to be present with you. Seeing to it that you have set your intention with them. Give yourself that moment for them to be in your presence. Breathing. Feeling. Hearing. For you see, the Halls of Amenti are a place of darkness within the light. And in that space is where we relieve you, yourselves, of yourselves, and all that is not light or light-centered. Told us we can go on the 8th of August, which is today. We are very, very fortunate to be here. Now, the value of the light is seen as golden flame which ignites a fire yet never experienced before. Their offering is new to us today. Bathe in that golden flame now. Let the golden fire encompass your entire being as it lifts you high into the air. Move now like in flight over the pyramids in Egypt. See now, you have gently settled onto the sand and approached the pyramid. Before you was a giant door. Look for the door. If these symbols and the things that we are not experiencing, and as I'm speaking them, just continue to move in whatever direction you are being taken, because this is a journey into the self. Before you is a giant door. On the door is a huge lion's head knocker. You lift it and you bang on the door 3 times. You wait to be admitted. You may see before you the forms of the entities you encounter there. Dragons, the phoenix, eagles, bulls, hawks, and foxes. They are looking deep within you for the purity of your heart and your intentions today. Now, wherever you are with them, inside or outside, beside the pyramid, even on the underside of the pyramid, wherever you have ventured in this journey, present in your voice your characteristics that you want to renounce. Saying, I renounce and release the energy of anger. Use your own words. I renounce and release the energy of fear. I renounce and release the energy of gossip. I renounce and release the energy of envy. I renounce and release the energy of judgment, disdain, and distrust. I shed the energy of these characteristics like a heavy woolen coat. I drop it to the floor. As the coat lays curled around my feet, crystal waters begin to spew forth from the halls before you, and the violent waves that come rushing in wash away the coats. Feel the release of the characteristics that you have renounced. Say with me now, I open my life to new light, new thoughts, new characteristics. I embrace life. Turning sharply to the left, you see a glimmering white and golden veil. It parts before you. You see, you feel, and then accept your destiny, which you now have room for since the burden of the self is gone. Looking through the veil, seeing if you see colors, seeing whatever you see, whatever is being presented to you, and everything will be made clear to you. As these things are released, and as you have renewed yourself, now you are baptized with green and golden flames. Say this with me. I am healed. I am renewed. I am free of the me I have come to know. I am new. I see the world through eyes of fierce determination and gain enlightenment. I am now my master. I am strength. I am determination. I have a strong resolve to travel the journey to meet my best self. I am free. I am free. Looking up into the universe with new eyes, you see rays of color, rays of light. They pierce your eyes, your breast, your torso and limbs, and you quake as your energy is enlarged and more pronounced. Say this out loud with me. I am courage. I am determination. I am driven. I am open. Breathe. Deep breath in. Blow it out. Breathe. Feel the energy around you. Feel the cleanness of your spirit. Feel the increase in the vibration in your etheric field. Feel the opening of your mind. Feel the opening and the enlightenment of your consciousness. Understand the pathways before you. Understand that you now in a position have entered the Halls of Amenti, are as royalty. Now kneel in acceptance of the crown being placed upon your head. Say this out loud with me. I am grateful. I am love. I am compassion and joy. I am now that I am. In this, taking a moment to sit, receive the gifts that you've been offered. Receiving the gifts by putting your hands out, raising them up, or lifting your head, however you would receive a gift, in gratitude and in joy. Gifts that will become very powerful and very evident to you. Gifts that will serve you in everything it is that you need in your future to lead you closer and closer through your ascension process. Ascension is wisdom, ascension is knowledge, and ascension is truth. So all of the things that we're experiencing now that seem to be so primordial and so important are that we are going to begin to understand they're merely an illusion. And everything that we are to become is our reality in a higher dimension of thought, in a higher dimension of consciousness. Consciousness has got to be our key word, because knowing that we're working with the things in this plane and not raising ourselves up to a higher dimension and holding ourselves there in our thoughts and in our logic, in our reasonableness, that's what holds us there. Struggling sometimes to understand everything's going on around us, but knowing that we're going to be okay and knowing that we're here for a reason at this time. And so understanding what that is an imperative. So as your veil is parted, things will become very obvious to you. If not immediately, they will become obvious to you exactly where it is that you are headed, exactly where it is you're supposed to be going, and what you're supposed to do for yourself, for your highest and best self and benefit. I'm going to leave you now with those thoughts. If you have any questions or comments, if you wanted me to wait a minute and you had something to say, we can do that. I didn't want to hold anybody back. We were a little longer on this than I anticipated, but I wanted you to have every opportunity to take advantage of everything that they offer today in the Halls of Amenti. And whatever your experience was the Halls of Amenti inside of you, knowing that we are to find our God-like presence, our God-like abilities, and who we are. I thank every one of you for coming. I really do sincerely appreciate you taking the time out this evening. I know that you've been busy, all of us working and trying to take care of our lives and hold things together. So please do stay in touch with me. And I would like to be offering these more in the future as I get better and better with the technological aspects of it. And thank you again for all of your patience. Thank you so much. And I will talk with you soon. I love you. Be good to yourselves. Be kind to others.